Up and behind me is the highest peak in the Kaimai Ranges, Mount Aroha at 952 metres. Good morning and welcome back on an absolutely stunning day here in the Waikato. Today I'm going to be running what's called the Te Aroha Waiō Loop track, which is up in the trail directory on wildthings.club. It's about 19 k's and about 1150 metres of vertical ascent. Some of that's going to be on the road, but most of it's just going to be getting up close and personal with the Mountain of Love. Come join me. So in the Wild Things directory, this track actually starts from in Te Aroha town itself, whereas I've chosen to actually begin it at Waiō Valley Car Park, simply because the first part is actually road running. So it's probably about 4 or 5k, and I just want to get that bit out of the way because I didn't come out here to run roads. So I'll do that piece, but just one of the things I was just sort of thinking about actually is that too often you sort of go to a run and you sort of don't really give it any thought as to what might be along the way and stop off. You sort of get so, well, at least I do at least, get so focused on getting to the run, getting the run completed and getting home again. But this part here, coming out towards Mount Te Aroha, and I've come from Tauranga and gone over State Highway 29 and then 24 on the old Te Aroha Road, and there's just plenty to see and do, or not so much do, but there's plenty to see. So it's a good idea to sort of slow down sometimes, or at least for me. For me, it's a good idea to slow down and just sort of take in some of the scenery that's on offer, because, well, you know, I'm always rushing around, and you know, yes, I've seen it heaps, but have I really seen it? You know, today I made a real effort to actually stop off, have a look at the cows, have a look at the farmland, have a look at the road, and you know, it's got this sort of bumpy sort of road on the way through, which is but it's quite neat. It just sort of, yeah, and when I slow down, I just enjoy it so much more. So, you know, one of the things that I'm just got to be a little bit more conscious about is just soaking in the environs and making the most of it. But anyway, enough rambling. Geez, I wobble on, don't I? Time to do some running. Hello little guys, look at you, you're awesome. Yes you are, you're doing a good job. So the legend behind Mount Te Aroha involves the son of a Māori chief, and his name was Te Māmoe, and he was actually travelling through this area, having come from the Bay of Plenty, and got a bit lost. And so what he decided to do was he decided to climb up this mountain in behind me, and I'll show you where he ends up going through, because he goes up through what's called Whakapipi, or Bald Spur. Anyway, he climbs up there, and then from the top he's able to have these wonderful views back out towards the Bay of Plenty and towards his home, which is in Makatu, which I did a little running vlog on recently, out towards Makatu Spit. Anyway, so he sort of sees his homeland, and or at least his, you know, where he came from, and you know, wistfully decides, man, these people here and this mountain have helped me find my home again. That's a wonderful place, and I just love them. They're adored, basically. And so that's how Mount Te Aroha got its name, meaning Mount Te Aroha, meaning the Mountain of Love. Don't know if I'll be saying that it's a Mountain of Love after I've climbed the 952 metres summit. We'll see. So here I am, managed to get onto what is actually the Hauraki Rail Trail, I think it's called, or at least the bike trail, which is concrete, so not great for running on, to be honest with you, but flat, and it takes me about 3k into town, and it's good to get off the road because it's reasonably busy actually today. And then behind me you can see the TV antenna. That is the highest part of where I'm going to climb today. cutesy little bridge here. And as you can see, I've got a heat coming off there. Yeah, I don't know if they are heated, but this area was very popular back in the late 1800s as a thermal resort. As you can see, there is steam coming in behind that Mokina spa baths. So a great place to go and relax afterwards. Right, so we're going to be heading up Bald Spur Track, and then it says here the summit, 4 hours return, but we're just going to leap back round to Wairorongamai. So just past the sign that basically says if you're walking, it's going to take about 45 minutes to get to Whakapipi, which is the viewing platform along Bald Spur Track, and then about 2 to 3 hours up to the summit itself. So it's supposed to be a long, easy, slow day for me, so I might walk a little bit of it. No shame in doing that. Oh yeah. Yes, I've just got away from Whakapipi, the lookout. I just didn't want to talk to camera and ruin the experience of other people that were there soaking in the views. But yeah, good views back into, you know, the sleepy town of Te Aroha, and of course it wasn't always like that. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, I wouldn't call it a thriving gold mining community, but there was a gold mining community here, so it was servicing that. Nowadays of course it just services the surrounding farms, and it also had the thermal resort, which when you come through the domain you can still see that is still the case. They still actually do have some hot pools there where you can have a soak in. But yeah, the town itself probably most famous for what is New Zealand's, or arguably New Zealand's greatest Olympian, Peter Snell, who grew up there. Peter Snell obviously won 3 middle distance gold medals, 800 and 1500 metre twice. I say arguably, I think there's a reasonable case that Dame Valley Adams would be up there as well. So maybe I should just say he's the greatest male Olympian, track and field at least anyway, that New Zealand's produced. What is probably lesser known is Te Aroha also produced New Zealand's first fizzy drink, so they got a lot to answer for, and that was known as lemon and Te Aroha, in a similar fashion to lemon and Paeroa. Not sure if it tasted the same, but they started making that in the late 1800s and finished up in the 1960s. So maybe lemon and Paeroa started after that. Might look it up. Right, nice little flat spot here, so chance to turn the legs over. .45, 400 metres to go. Love the stairs. Stairs are good because they're easy and they just chew into the vertical ascent that I need to get. Positive mindset again. 750. Still got 400 metres. Come on, Eel, let's go. Been a while since we've had any views, and finally got a bit of sun on my back now as well. So just come up this little track down here, and then got to a little spot where there's been a slip, and beautiful views out onto the Waikato. Just around to the left. It's hidden by trees, so I'm not going to pan around. This is where you can sneak views of Te Aroha. As is typical for Waikato Plains, but a low-lying cloud you've got to look through. Oh, excuse me. Couldn't think of anything worse than climbing to the top of that. Looks still like a poor man's Eiffel Tower. Geez, on a good day they'll be pretty impressive. Views out there to the Bay of Plenty. And behind the clouds is Mount Maunganui. A bit further around would have been Makatu, which is where our friend Te Mamoi would have seen his homeland from up the top here. Top of the Cormoys! Dog Kennel Flat, 30 minutes. Alright. I think this will take a lot shorter than getting here. There's a bugger that it's clouded over, because much earlier in the day it looked like I was going to get unobstructed views, but obviously this being the Gomais, weather's bloody changeable, so no real surprise. Gives me another excuse to come out on a different day. Right, into the tunnel. Ooh. Don't need a torch for this one. We're going out onto a swing bridge. Okay, that's you just come through the tunnel and over the swing bridge. I'm just going up high level track, which is hopefully going to take me to the, well, what it says on the sign is the derelict Hardy's hut. So go and check that out. Yeah, well, it's the derelict Hardy's hut. Not much to see, to be honest. Managed to get to the top of, well, didn't get to the top of, but we are at the top of Butler's Incline, which is the equivalent of 845 steps according to that. And, there's a bit of a squiz down at the people coming up, because I can hear a lot of these people down here.
Oh, there's a person! Well, it was just so stupid to take her out in the snow.
Awesome.
And push the pram through the snow. Oh, and slow.
Right, cabin track to finish off. That was a bit of a fail. Tried to take a close up of the waterfall and almost bloody fell in. In fact, I did fall on it. It's bloody cold. Right, only about 10 minutes from home, so not going to complain. Whew. Yeah, what a great run. You can see the kiddo up there, the wood pigeon. That's a great way to finish off, I think. Yeah, sensational run. Obviously got the road out of the way pretty quick, and then a bit of history in Te Aroha town itself before going up Bald Spur and up to top of the highest mountain in the Kaimai Ranges, Mount Te Aroha. Good views. A little bit cloudy, but you know, pretty good views out to the Bar Plenty side at least anyway. Unfortunately the Waikato Plains had clouded over. And then coming back down around the other side, Dog Kennels Flat, some nice running down through there, and then through a pretty awesome tunnel and bridge, and then quite a few waterfalls and little stream, I wouldn't know if I'd call them stream, but little rivulets to cross before falling into that last waterfall. And I'd say I'd got soaked, but certainly got wetter than I wanted to anyway. So yeah, hey look, this one's well worth doing. Make sure you look it up in the wild directory of wildthings.club. Take care, thanks for watching.